Okay, so this is the start of the game, and it gives you some information about the world. 2D pixel game, visual novel. All right, so we can start the game. Now what it's going to do is it's going to give us a introductory section that sets up the main character, sets up some background, and also does a basic mechanic introduction, so we know how to play the game, or at least start playing the game. I'm going to attach a document to this that will outline some of the stuff that the game covers, and I'll kind of point out some of the starting stuff here. Alright, let's just do a new game. And it gives you the grab some drinks, have some snacks. Okay. This was done in 2016 and actually done in Game Maker. Here you see the interface. You're behind the bar. These are the ingredients you're going to use to make drinks. The dialogue system, there's no sound, there's music, but no sound. So if you click that character is going to show up later in the story. Okay, make sure you have $800. You also need to make money for your rent. This is your online app, or say your subscription to your online world. So when you get back to your apartment, this will be how you hold to unlock. This is how you save. So you save the game using this thing. This is optional, but it gives you background information about the world. So if you click this, new economic adjustments, inflation rate. Oddly enough, the developers of this game were from Argentina in 2016, where they had hyperinflation, a brutal and autocratic regime, and it's sort of being reflected in their game. Although their game is set in a future cyberpunk world. You can, and I'm not going to read all this. What's interesting is this is all optional. It doesn't really affect the story. Some of it kind of does, but it's mainly background to the world. So you can click on these. Cyborg and Heels. You'll actually meet that character someplace in the game. Now, you can click right now in the early part of the game. We can't really do much. Settings gives us the settings off again. Exit. No. So here's our option, go to work. So again, even though there's no text, this gives us kind of a visual world building. So here's my little crummy apartment, my little TV, my cat. So you're going to get this music all the way through. You can set the jukebox and change what you hear, but it'll sort of randomly play tracks. So again, this is part of the story, and that's going to be your relationship with your boss. Oops. Notice down here on the right we have other options. Okay, boss went out to buy some stuff. All right, so currently I don't really have any choices. I'm just listening to this character. So I'm learning about him. I'm learning about something about myself. I have to pay rent by the 30th. up here, so notice the narrative. Parentheses mean this is sort of internal monologue. Okay, so here's a tutorial for the mechanics. Okay, so he's going to give me a basic one. Press the mix button. Okay, so I want to do a sugar rush. Two of these, one of these, with optional, which is actually the alcohol, and then mixed. So you drag this over, one, two, one of these. Let's do a couple of these. Mix. Up. See what happened. Okay, let's reset it. Okay, notice the mechanics. I mix it a little bit and then reset it, and then I serve it. Okay, more tutorial. So, mixed and blended. All right, let's go through this and then we'll get our first customer. And again, I'm not going to go through all the dialogue. I'm going to kind of skip over that. Okay. Okay, 6 of those, one of that, 2 of those. on the rocks and blend it. So I've got to do everything. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of those. One of those. Okay, this is on the rocks and blended. So I wait for it to speed up. Up, it's all messed up. So I've got to add that at the first. So let's reset it. Okay, so we've got the basic tutorial. Okay, so the amount has an effect. So I can change dialogue options and what the character says by adding more of this stuff. Oh, okay. Okay, there's my boss. Okay, notice how we're getting character development. Okay, so here's where you can pick the song. and you can hear the preview. Okay, so again, yeah, we're good. Oh, okay, so I've got to add, I don't really care. All right. Okay, so we don't know who these people are, but this is how we're going to interact with our customers, and this is how the story's going to be told. We're going to see these people over and over again. We're going to figure out who they are. All right, get me a beer. So we've learned how to do this. Usually this is fairly, so it's mixed. One of those, two of those, one of those, two of those. We mix it, serve it. All right, so now, again, follow-up tutorial. So we have to double everything. Okay, so now we're getting some background information. Okay, so again, we're getting more world building. Basically, this is where we are. We're either here in the bar or we're home. At the end of the day, I hopefully made enough money. You can see up here how much money I've made. So it goes on and on. Okay, so what we're looking for is the narrative technique, which is fairly simple. The idea is that we're getting a dialogue, and to change the responses, we're going to add more alcohol to the drinks, and they will give us some changes to the responses. So a lot of the narrative and the game world is character-based. The story that we get ourselves, our story, is gradually told by characters showing up and interacting. So let's get out of here.